What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Just like and sub, and let's get into this. Um, Superman has a lot of issues with it, and unfortunately, they added even more through Mark from Variety and the Times of London, asking them absolutely baiting questions and then just having some horrible responses. And of course, now we're getting replies from everyone. If you've seen stories on James Gunn saying Superman's an immigrant and it's the story of America and it's a political movie, it's not, and he's not. When people, before Dean says his piece, when people say Superman is an immigrant and it's the story of America, they mean that in the most basest, broadest of terms, that he's someone from outside of the culture that comes here, is raised in it, does great in his life, is instilled with American values, truth, justice, and the American way, and embraces and fully assimilates the culture and is American through and through. And that's the whole point, is even though he's an alien, he's raised by two American Christian Kansas, not Hicks, as Gunn would have you, but competent people that can string together sentences, and they raise him to be Clark, who goes on to be Superman, obviously. So when people like Mark from Variety say things and ask if it's political, the Times of London, obviously that is all going to get screwed up. And then you get the people go, Superman has always been political. And they point to the 30s comics of him, knocking out Hitler or something. It's like, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about on the nose politics. So in the recent interview with Times of London, of course, Gunn is where he said that it is, it's an immigrant story and it's the story of America. And also with that Mark from Variety, is this the gayest Superman ever? There, he got everyone to answer that clickbait question about it being a political movie. Dean Cain, of course, was asked about this. He said, how woke is Hollywood going to make this character? I can hear people screaming now, Superman is woke. He would believe you. Right, but he's also patriotically American. So let's, again, in the vernacular, you know what he means. Is Superman going to be... how far are you going to take that? You're going to have him gender affirming care defender? So how much is Disney going to change their Snow White? Why are they going to change these characters to exist for the times? Right. The sentiment grew louder when DC Comics officially dropped the phrase "the American way," which they do not say in the movie. They don't even say any. He doesn't say truth, justice, or a better tomorrow, or he doesn't say any of that. Dean goes on, for Superman, it was truth, justice, and the American way. Well, they dropped that. Changing beloved characters, I don't think, is a great idea. If you want to create a new character, go ahead and do that. Superman's inherent weakness is his goodness. Correct, and that is shown in the movie. He describes the character's morality as essential strength. That's what makes him so powerful. He represents great values. We know Superman is an immigrant. He's a freaking alien, Cain acknowledged, but said framing the character primarily through a modern political lens crosses a line. That's a bridge too far. Yeah, so when you say he's an immigrant, yeah, he came from somewhere else and he's here. But by actual definitions, he's not an immigrant. He did not come from Krypton, whose government was failing from socialism, and he was living in poverty. And he saw how great it was in America. Got to come to America. He's not a fucking immigrant. Technically, he's not even a refugee in the political sense as we would define it, because he's from another planet. But if you want to take it in the broader sense, yeah, the planet blew up, and as a baby with no knowledge of his own, it's the Moses story, yes, because obviously this was created by two Jewish men. The American way is immigrant friendly. This was Dean Cain again. The American way is immigrant friendly, tremendously immigrant friendly, legally. But there are rules. You can't come in saying, I want to get rid of all the rules in America because I want it to be more like Somalia. Well, that doesn't work because you had to leave Somalia to come here. There have to be limits. Because now everyone's going to think that Dean hates Somalia. There have to be limits because we can't have everybody in the United States. Society will fail, so there have to be limits. You can see here Gunn's remarks, including his claim that Superman is an immigrant, came from other places and populated the country, sparked immediate backlash online. And yeah, Fox News, and made all their dumb shit. Someone pointing out here, we don't go to the movie theater to be lectured and have somebody throw their ideology onto us. Also true. Dean over here saying, I think bringing Superman into it, I think that was a mistake by James Gunn to say it's an immigrant thing. And I think it's going to hurt the numbers on the movie. I was excited for the film. I am excited to see what it is. I'm rooting for it to be a success, but I don't like that last political comment. And well, it only got worse because, like I said, it is Mark Malkin is the guy that we always ask these horrible clickbaity questions. He's got the bow tie. He got Gunn and he got his brother Shawn Gunn to say dumb shit. Yeah, and again, saying there was backlash from people, that there was no backlash. Here's Shawn Gunn saying, yes, Superman is an immigrant, and yes, the people that we support in this country are immigrants. Legal. We support legal immigrants. And if you don't like that, you're not American. I agree. If you don't like people supporting legal immigration, you're not American. But if you're an American, you want people to come here legally, then you should have no problem with people that came here illegally. In other words, what laws should we follow? Everyone that has a problem with people who are illegally here, and I don't give a fuck if it was 2 days or 20 years, if you were here illegally, you have made no effort to become a naturalized citizen or speak the language or assimilate the way Clark did, get the fuck out. They're tearing families. Good, send them all back. What laws would you like us to follow? Hate it. I hate it. Yeah, and there we go, finishing here. Here's the thing. The movie has plenty of problems on its own. It does not need the fake politics immigrant thing to be thrown onto it. You can just judge it on what he did to the lore and how he gives the best scenes to everyone but Superman. So it's going into wide release. I'm sure shit like this will fall to the wayside, and I can't wait to get into the nitty gritty with everyone once we've seen it. Again, forget all this. Just what Gunn did in this movie, if Zack Snyder did half of the shit that he did in this movie, there would be riots in the street. And I'm looking at you, Kryptonian heritage. Did you know that Superman has a harem? Sorry, I'm sorry. I digress. Well, that's a little spoiler there at the end. Anyway, let me know what you think about all this. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And
well, bye.